Attention passionate Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Buffalo Bills' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Buffalo Bills fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Let's get to the news. All right, folks, buckle up because the NFL rumor mill is buzzing with some serious potential blockbuster moves, and one in particular has Bills fans talking. It's about Dexter Lawrence, the star defensive tackle from the New York Giants. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why would the Giants trade away such a key player? Well, the whispers suggest that the Giants are facing some serious cap issues, and with their record being just 3-6 heading into 2025, they're looking at some tough decisions. The Giants are reportedly struggling to manage a $6 million cap overage next year, and that's not exactly a recipe for stability. Their roster has been a bit of a roller coaster, especially on the inside defense, where they've been giving up around 28 points per game in the NFC East. That's not great, especially when your goal is to contend. Now, the latest rumor comes from ESPN's Adam Schefter, who leaked that the Bills are in serious talks with the Giants about trading for Dexter Lawrence. The Giants are reportedly looking for a second-round pick in the 2026 draft, and the Bills, seeing an opportunity to bolster their interior defense, are considering pulling the trigger. The speculation is that this move is aimed at rebuilding the offensive line, but let's not overlook how much Lawrence could transform Buffalo's defense. It's not just about plugging a hole, it's about elevating the entire unit. And trust me, Bills fans, this isn't just some casual rumor. Lawrence is a game changer. He's an all-pro, ranked in the top 5 by PFF for 2025 with some eye-popping stats. 8 sacks so far this season, 48 pressures, 13 tackles for loss, and a run defense grade of 92. 8 from PFF. That's elite, folks. He's someone who can dominate the trenches, disrupt the quarterback's pocket, and make life miserable for opposing offenses. His EPA per snap is 43, which indicates he's constantly winning his battles, and he has a penetration win rate of 24%. That means he's ripping through double teams and creating chaos, much like the top interior defenders in the league. If you look at his career stats, Lawrence has accumulated 32 sacks and 180 pressures, and he's been a reliable force against the run, allowing just over 4 yards per tackle. He's battled injuries, like that leg injury in Week 6 that limited him to 74% of snaps, but when healthy, he's a difference maker. His penetration rate, especially when double-teamed 28% of the time, is comparable to some of the best in the league. Think Aaron Donald, who's widely regarded as the best interior DL. Lawrence's ability to win in the pocket, as shown by his plus 0.37 EPA in pockets, makes him a perfect fit for a Bills defense that's looking to take the next step. Now, why would the Giants consider trading him? Well, the Giants are in a tough spot financially. They're trying to extend key players like Daniel Jones, who's set to hit a $50 million cap hit next year. And they're also trying to fix an interior defensive line that's been inconsistent, averaging just 2 sacks per game. A trade for a high draft pick like this could help them manage their cap better, but it's a risky move. Trading a player of Lawrence's caliber could also dilute their EPA in the interior by around minus 21% in 2024, making their defense less effective overall. So, it's a classic case of weighing short-term cap relief versus long-term defensive stability. For the Bills, this is a game-changing opportunity. With a 7-2 record, they're already one of the top teams in the AFC, but adding a player like Lawrence could push them into that elite tier. Buffalo's defensive line has been a bit of a mixed bag this season. Ed Oliver and Tim Settle have battled injuries, Oliver and Carter both on IR, and Epinesa dealing with a concussion as of November 5th. Sacks have been down, averaging around 1.4 per game, and the pass rush could use that extra spark. Lawrence's addition would immediately elevate the front, giving the Bills a disruptive force that can consistently collapse the pocket. Imagine a defensive line anchored by Lawrence, with Oliver and Carter returning from injury and Epinesa possibly stepping up once healthy. Buffalo's defense would become a nightmare for offenses, especially in the AFC East. The projection is that Lawrence could add around 10 or more sacks, which would significantly raise the Bills' pressure rate. His presence could lead to a 26% reduction in EPA per run allowed, meaning they'd be shutting down the run game more effectively. This kind of disruption would force turnovers and create more opportunities for the Bills' offense to capitalize, especially with Josh Allen leading the charge. Furthermore, this move could elevate Buffalo's chances at making a deep playoff run and possibly even winning a Super Bowl. The Bills are already competitive, but adding a top-tier interior presence like Lawrence could be the final piece to push them over the top. The odds for the Super Bowl, which are currently at +2,500, could see a significant shift if this move materializes, maybe even dropping to +1, 0 or better. Lawrence's ability to win in the pocket with a -0.50 EPA in disrupting plays makes him a true X-factor. Against teams like the Jets, where pressure and disruption are critical, his impact could be even more pronounced, raising the Bills' chances of closing out tight games. From a broader perspective, this is a strategic move that signals Buffalo's intent to go all in. The Bills' front office has been clear that they're committed to building a defense that can contend for a Super Bowl, and acquiring a player like Lawrence would be a bold statement. It's reminiscent of past trades that reshaped franchises, like the Rams acquiring Donald or the Seahawks drafting and developing their dominant defensive linemen. Lawrence's addition would not just be a one-year fix, it would be a foundational upgrade, a cornerstone that could anchor Buffalo's defense for years to come. Looking ahead, the Bills' depth along the defensive line has been tested this season. Oliver and Carter have shown flashes but have also been in and out due to injuries. Epenesa's concussion adds to the complexity, and the sacks per game have been somewhat underwhelming considering the talent in the lineup. Lawrence would change that entire dynamic. His ability to generate pressure on nearly every snap, combined with his run-stopping prowess, would allow Buffalo to switch to a more aggressive, playmaking defense. It's about forcing opponents into uncomfortable third-and-long situations, turning those into turnovers, and setting the tone early in games. And let's not forget the overall playoff picture. Adding a player of Lawrence's caliber boosts Buffalo's chances of securing a top seed in the AFC. The division itself is competitive, but with the Dolphins, Jets, and Patriots all fighting hard, a dominant Bills defense could be the difference maker. Especially when considering that the Bills' offense, led by Josh Allen, is already among the league's best. With a defense anchored by Lawrence creating chaos, Buffalo could control games from start to finish, limiting opponents' scoring opportunities and giving their offense more freedom to operate. Now some skeptics might say, well, trading a second-round pick for a defensive tackle is risky, and they have a point. Draft picks are valuable assets, and losing one in 2026 could hurt long-term planning. But if the Bills can secure Lawrence and pair him with their existing core, like Ed Oliver when healthy, they could create a defensive powerhouse that's built to last. It's a gamble, but in the NFL, sometimes you have to make bold moves to stay ahead. The Bills have been aggressive before, and this could be their next big step. In conclusion, folks, the potential acquisition of Dexter Lawrence by the Bills is shaping up to be one of the most exciting rumors of the offseason. If it happens, it could redefine the Bills' defensive identity and propel them towards Super Bowl contention. It's clear that Buffalo is aiming high, and with Lawrence's elite talent, they'd be getting a true game changer. So keep your eyes peeled because this story isn't going anywhere, and it might just be the move that solidifies Buffalo's status as a perennial contender. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Buffalo Bills news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Buffalo Bills fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Bills. Do you think this trade is a game changer? Would you give up a second-round pick for a player like Dexter Lawrence? Let us know how you feel about the potential move. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Buffalo Bills news. This season is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory, and with moves like this on the horizon, we're all in for a wild ride. Let's keep the passion alive, and as always, go Bills.